Hi everyone, welcome to Motoroids. My name is Guru, and that SUV you saw back there could well be the premium SUV that you've been waiting for. We've spent the last day and a half at the Mahindra Research Valley at the outskirts of Chennai, and an exhilarating day here at the MSPT, the Mahindra SUV Proving Track, somewhere on the outskirts of Chennai, to introduce you to the XUV700. The cabin in the Adrenox variant is a lovely place to be. Soft touch materials are deployed everywhere that matters. The digital display information and infotainment system plays a dual role. It will provide you all the driving aids you need to focus your attention on the road, like the 360 camera view, rear camera view, and the usual tachometer and speedometer. It also keeps you suitably entertained with its tablet-like display, where you can install a host of Android applications for music, video, and photos. The driving enthusiast will enjoy the G-Force display to brag about their cornering skills. The seats in the XUV700 are a cut above anything we've seen from Mahindra in the past. They hold you in place and offer a great deal of comfort. This is in the Adrenox variant with the leather seats. The headrest was still a tad too far back for me to relax without feeling like I'm looking up at the roofliner. The armrests felt natural to use, and the forward panel door armrests are also well contoured for your door side arms. The air conditioner in the XUV700 is powerful. We were in Chennai, and as expected it was hot and humid, but the AC kept us comfortable. The variant we were driving did not have ventilated seats. I'm not sure if any variant has ventilated seats. That could be a key differentiator between, say, the Creta and the Seltos when the battle heats up on the showroom floors. The XUV700 option pack includes a Sony sound system. This is a boss feature. This sound system is flipping fantastic. The sound is crisp, clean, tight, and can go loud without getting out of control. We played it low and high, and the speakers have great pace and rhythm to keep up with fast-changing notes. The bass is weighty but can be modulated with audio controls to your taste. You can turn on a variety of DSP-supported surround modes to get the audio experience that you want. The Skyroof is such a cool name for a panoramic sunroof. I like the ring of that. Single touch to open, pause at any time, and reverse if you change your mind. When it opens fully, a wind deflector pops up to reduce the wind noise and buffeting inside the cabin. It takes a little bit more time than some other cars to open and close completely. The driving position in the XUV700 is almost perfect. I felt right at home immediately with a great view in front of the vehicle and out the windows. The electronically adjustable seats will help you find the right spot for you. The Adrenox variant that I drove would automatically move the seat back when the driver door was opened to make it easier to get in and out of the XUV700. This is a great feature that you won't find in other premium SUVs. The combination of the driving position and 360-degree camera bridges the divide between a monocoque SUV like the XUV700 and a high-seating ladder chassis SUV like a Scorpio or a Bolero or a Pajero. This design is safer as you are cocooned within the crash structure. I did not have to adjust the steering for tilt or reach because it just sat right for me. The middle row in the XUV700 is spacious and should be easy to get in and out for the elderly. The seats are firm but supportive and should be wonderful over long-distance drives. I did not test the third row, although we did have a 7-seater with us. Our variant was equipped with 4 leather seats all around. The steering was also 4 leather. The seating is 2 in the front, 3 in the middle, and 2 in the third row. You cannot fit more than 2 adults in the third row, and there are only 2 headrests provided. From what I could see, the third row is strictly for kids and young adults. The cushioning is thin and the legroom looks stingy. The third row and middle row fold perfectly flat to give you acres of room and various combinations to open up more space for those who need it. You could seat 4 and have enough luggage space for a trip to Ladakh. You could seat 2, sell your house, and live out of your XUV700. As a photographer, this sort of flexible space is incredibly important to me when I need to travel with a lot of gear and several assistants. A quick word on the design of the XUV700. It is visibly reminiscent of the XUV500. Where it differs from the XUV500 is in the way it is smartly integrated from head to tail. Mahindra vehicles usually look like 2 different designers worked on it from either end and met in the middle. This time there is a cohesion to the design. The indicators look great, the DRLs are striking and rather intimidating when viewed in the rearview mirrors. The side stance is purposeful, aggressive, with the haunches and low profile, which should aid aerodynamics. The vehicle's under chassis looks clean without protrusions to spoil the airflow. The air intake looks like a high-end design, sucking in cold air from behind the front grille directly into the airbox. Headlight adjustment controls are thoughtfully provided right above the headlights in the engine bay. No need to fiddle around the back of the headlight units to adjust the beams. This is a well laid out and finished engine bay. There were no loose wires and hoses to be seen. When the boot lid is open, the hazard lights come on automatically. They also go off a few seconds after the boot lid is closed. This is again a feature I don't think I've seen in many other vehicles. The XUV700 has a really clean and well laid out engine bay. The engine cover hides the mess in the engine bay and reduces whatever little noise there may be. This is a quiet engine. Standing 3 feet away from the car, you can hear it, but it is not an unpleasant rattle. The sound dampening on the boot lid and the firewall mask any residual noise and harshness from filtering into the cabin. Our experience here at MSPT has been nothing short of spectacular. We've had an opportunity to drive the XUV700 on an off-road track on a high-speed oval, which you can see right here, on roads simulating highway conditions and city conditions. With that, we've had a chance to experience this SUV in variety of conditions at the same facility. Mahindra provided every Indian a wonderful Independence Day surprise by revealing the price of the XUV700. At these prices, it is very hard to recommend any other product to anybody who's looking for a premium SUV of this segment and of this class. One feature which stands out about this SUV is the engine. We had a chance to drive only the diesel engine with the manual transmission, and boy is it an exciting engine to drive. The diesel engine revs unlike any other diesel I've driven before. It's got plenty of power at low RPMs, plenty of torque, and it pulls hard and linear through the entire rev range. This is one of the most potent engines to ever feature in any SUV of this class. You can have a lot of fun in this car, and it is guaranteed to put a smile on your face. The diesel engine on the XUV700 is one of the best diesel engines I have ever driven, and this includes the 2-liter diesel that does duty in the Jeep, Harrier and Safari. This engine feels more linear, eager to rev, and sounds fantastic. You certainly feel the power, but it's sheathed in a glove of refinement. The power delivery feels like a locomotive at low RPMs, and like an aircraft at takeoff once the needle starts to move skywards. The vehicle positively launches forward with a hint of squat from the rear, and the sound urges you to grow a pair and give it some beans. Invariably, I did end up indulging in some lunacy within the safe confines of the Mahindra SUV proving track. We were driving the diesel manual transmission Adrenox variant, which is the 185 bhp option. This engine lugs really well and is a dream to drive around in the city. You could do most of your city commute in second or third gear. I didn't stall the engine even once during the entire day's driving. In 5th gear, we were doing 140 km per hour around the banked corners of the high-speed MSPT. This was midway in the rev range and there was still 6th to go. This car will do 200 km per hour with ease. The ride and handling is a combination of suspension, chassis, tires and steering. The XUV700 is now firmly into German premium car territory with this package. It is that good. You can forget about Creta, Seltos, Harrier, Safari, Nexon, XUV500, Ford EcoSport. The XUV700 handles better, has more power, has more space, and just feels like the better option. We did get to drive the automatic briefly, and it shifts smoothly, and it should be the gearbox of choice given the traffic situation most of you are facing today. Personally though, I prefer the manual as it's more engaging to get those shifts just right. The automatic variant drive was too brief and on a very controlled demo for a full report. The gearbox in the manual transmission variants of the XUV700 is competent. The throw is on the longer side. A shorter throw would make it easier to keep the engine on boil between gear shifts. The gearbox is not notchy and has well-defined gates. I didn't miss any shifts during my drive. The clutch is light and friendly for city driving. The flywheel feels lightweight, and this contributes to an easy revving feel, but the revs do drop a lot when you depress the clutch in between 2nd and 3rd. Combine this with a long throw, and it is a little bit more work than it could have been to shift from 2nd to 3rd without dropping too much RPM. This is a minor complaint, and you will only feel this while driving the car hard. Once you get used to it and master your shifting, this should disappear. The gear knob feels great to hold and does not vibrate, rattle or shake when the vehicle is in neutral or on the move. Very refined. The handling of the XUV700 is precise and controlled. The combination of a light and precise steering wheel and well-damped suspension works to give plenty of confidence at low and high speeds. I do wish the steering wheel weighted up a little bit more, particularly at high speeds around the high-speed track. At speeds of 140 km per hour, the wheel felt a little bit lighter than I would have liked. But it's a minor complaint in an overall excellent product. The steering in the XUV700 is precise, quick and very light. This SUV is incredibly easy to drive around car parks and in traffic. It is effortless. While the steering does weigh up as the speedometer rises, I still found it a little bit light at higher speeds. I would have liked a little bit more weight at 100 km per hour and higher. The fact that we were on a banked oval at 140 masked the slightly light feeling of the steering. This could be personal preference and it is a minor complaint. The steering communicates the goings-on under the front and rear tire adequately. It is not quite as chatty as the lovely steering on the Ford EcoSport, but it is the closest that Mahindra have come to delivering an enthusiast-friendly steering wheel in one of their SUVs. A lot has been said about the suspension design that went into this particular car. A friend and I were driving back from Bangalore to Chennai, and we had the opportunity to drive behind the prototype XUV700 for several kilometers. What really stood out was the way it was so settled over bad patches of road, while the Fortuner that we were driving was pitching around a lot more. I was curious as to what the suspension design was, and this was revealed to us during the briefing here at the MRV. Mahindra have worked really hard on the suspension in the XUV700 and they are proud of it. This suspension can sense the frequency of undulations on the road and valve itself appropriately to offer a stiff ride for great handling as well as smooth out larger road imperfections when they show up. It is not an electronic damped suspension, but it is a huge improvement over anything we have seen from Mahindra in the past. As you go over a speed bump, the suspension compresses and extends as you cross the bump. On the other side, there's an imperceptible compression before it settles to its laden ride height. This is a huge improvement over previous Mahindra SUVs that would continue bobbing long after you have crossed the speed breaker. It is still not quite on the level of a Bilstein B6, which controls the damping a little bit better. but credit has to be given to the Mahindra engineers for finally delivering on the suspension front, and things can only get better from here. This suspension has great synergy with the stiffened chassis of the XUV700 and offers a level of dynamics and control previously unheard of in a Mahindra vehicle. At the MSPT, we had a drive at the dynamics and handling track. This is a specific part of the track where you can drive the car in a fixed radius circles and evaluate what speeds you're able to maintain without losing cornering stability. Is there body roll? Yes, there is still some body roll. It doesn't corner as flat as a sedan. This is a sedan-derived suspension reimagined and re-engineered for an SUV. But you still cannot mask the higher ground clearance and weight. The cabin refinement is definitely at a level above the XUV500. The engine noises are well damped from entering the cabin. At the same time, it is not a quiet cabin, but the engine makes such a lovely noise that it just goads you into putting your foot down. The Adrenox variant also comes with 3 drive modes: zip, zap and zoom. There is a 4th mode called the custom mode, which allows you to set vehicle parameters to your taste. There is a major difference between zip, zap and zoom, with zoom being the most fun to drive. I was not able to discern the difference between zip and zap due to the short time I had with the vehicle. The engineers tell me that there is a sort of torque curve reprofiling that happens when you switch modes to move the sweet spot of the engine around. Suspension and steering are also adjusted according to which mode you are in. Zap is the default mode. Zip is more darty for quick cutting through city traffic, and zoom is for the open road where you can really let that engine bellow its sweet note and let the steering and suspension firm up for enhanced road feel. If the ADAS system senses no steering or pedal input for an extended period of time, it will chime and warn you to pull over and have a cup of coffee. The XUV700 also comes with an option of all-wheel drive. We got to drive the all-wheel drive vehicle over a small curated test track. While this won't reflect real-world performance, it is indicative of urban jungle obstacles that you might encounter. No slush, sand, gravel or water wading was included in this test. The all-wheel drive version appears to have a slightly higher ground clearance, although they would not give us a figure. It also has a lot more suspension travel than the standard vehicle. This looks like a capable all-wheel drive system, but we need more details and the ability to test in real-world condition to understand the limits. As it is, the vehicle will be more than adequate for the adventure seekers who will see a river and choose to go around it rather than risking their lives going through it with a snorkel. This could be a perfect foil for city dwellers who want to have a taste of the wild without scaring themselves in the process. If someone steps into the road in front of your vehicle, the emergency brake will apply depending on your closing speed and distance to the obstacle. We tested this feature at 30 km per hour and the brakes applied gently at first and really hard as we got closer to the obstacle, bringing us to a complete stop. We got to test the Advanced Driver Aids System or ADAS in the XUV700. This is only supported in the automatic transmission variants. The Follow Me feature allows you to follow another vehicle in front of you without having to use the brake or accelerator. If the vehicle in front slows down, your vehicle slows down to maintain the safe distance. If you pull out into another lane, your cruise control will accelerate you up to the preset speed. A very useful feature in heavy traffic. Lane departure warning and correction is part of the ADAS package. If your vehicle drifts over the white line, the lane departure warning will sound and the steering will make a small correction in the opposite direction. It will not steer the car for you, just give you a gentle nudge urging you to make the correction yourself. You still have to complete the maneuver back into your own lane. ABS and ESP were demonstrated to us as part of an experience where we were not in control of the vehicle, rather we were driven around by an experienced demo driver. I can't really get a feel for what the steering and the brakes were doing during this test, but they seem to work as expected. The XUV700 is a brilliant place for a driver to be. The seats are comfortable, the driving position is spot on, the steering wheel is light but precise, and the engine really puts a smile on your face. I've had a fantastic experience driving this car, and I wish I could drive it some more around the brilliant MSPT. The Mahindra XUV700 is a groundbreaking product from the Indian car manufacturer. Groundbreaking in every sense, be it the performance on offer or the features it comes loaded with. The XUV700 will be available in broadly 4 trims: MX, AX3, AX5 and AX7. Mahindra have already revealed the prices of select variants that include 5-seater manual transmission only. Mahindra will also offer the XUV700 in 7-seat configurations, the prices of which will be revealed at a later date. The MX series sits at the bottom of the XUV700 range. It will only be available with manual transmission and will also miss out on the option of all-wheel drive. It gets a 2-litre 4-cylinder turbocharged M-Stallion petrol engine which produces 200 horsepower and 380 Nm of torque. The other powertrain on offer is the 2.2-litre 4-cylinder M-Hawk diesel engine. The diesel produces 155 horsepower and 360 Nm of torque. Some of the features of the MX variant include an 8-inch infotainment system, a 7-inch digital instrument cluster, Android Auto, smart door handles, LED tail lamps, steering-mounted audio controls, electrically adjustable ORVMs with turn indicators, day and night IRVM, and 17-inch steel wheels. The MX Petrol Manual is priced at Rs 11.99 lakhs and serves as the base variant in the lineup. The MX Diesel Manual will set you back by Rs 12.49 lakhs. The Adrenox or AX series offers all the bells and whistles of the MX with extensive options in the XUV700 range. It gets the same M-Stallion engine as the MX series, but with an option of a 6-speed automatic transmission. The 2.2-litre M-Hawk diesel engine will be available in a higher state of tune with 185 horsepower and 420 Nm of torque. Diesel automatic variants will get 450 Nm of torque. You can also add all-wheel drive as an option. The diesel variants will get drive modes, namely Zip, Zap, Zoom and Custom, which alter the engine profiles and steering feel according to one's needs. The AX3 variant gets dual 10.25-inch HD screens for the infotainment system as well as the instrument cluster. Built-in Amazon Alexa, wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, Adrenox Connect with over 60 connected features, 6 speakers with sound staging, LED DRLs and front fog lamps, 17-inch steel wheels with covers. The AX5 has all the features of the AX3 and adds a panoramic sunroof that Mahindra is proud to call a skyroof. 17-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels, curtain airbags, LED clear view headlamps, sequential turn indicators, and cornering lamps. The XUV700 can be had with option packs as well for the Adrenox series. The option pack will include a 12-speaker 3D sound system by Sony, electrically deployed smart door handles, 360-degree camera with blind view monitor, electronic parking brake, and wireless charging. Mahindra will reveal the prices of the option pack at the official launch. Mahindra have gone all out when it comes to the safety features in the XUV700. It gets Advanced Driver Assistance System called ADAS. Features such as autonomous emergency braking, lane keep assist, adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, traffic sign recognition, driver drowsiness detection. It also gets 7 airbags, dynamic stability control, ABS, EBD, and customizable voice alerts for overspeeding. At any price, this is a very compelling SUV. But when Mahindra revealed the prices to us, it became impossible to recommend anything else. The XUV700 could very well be the deal of the decade. My name is Guru, signing off for Motoroids.